Jayden, welcome to the cave.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me today to talk about your latest role as Teddy on Disney's movie, The Curious Case of Dolphin Bay, which recently premiered on Disney Channel. How does that make you feel, man? It was one of your biggest roles to this day, and the movie took
Yeah,
off.
it's so amazing. Just like it's really awesome that people are like getting to watch it. You know, it will be released in Australia in September. But I'm really excited that America is loving it. And we're getting a lot of positive feedback. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
So, before we get more into the movie, I was doing a little research on you. I saw that you started acting around the age of 6. How did that come about? What made you get into it?
Yeah. So basically, I was always singing and dancing around the house, and I was like learning monologues from movies for fun and just reciting them. And then when I was 6 years old, I was enrolled in a local drama school, and
Okay.
that's when I started on stage when I was 6. And then I started screen acting when I was 9.
Oh wow. What
Yeah,
who did you look up to in the industry and like or even like just TV shows or movies that kind of
yeah,
pushed you towards this more?
yeah. Definitely Leonardo DiCaprio is up there. He's
Yeah.
an amazing actor. All of his work I absolutely love. It's so like nuanced and really, really interesting the choices that he makes. And I love Christian Bale as an actor as well. His work is phenomenal.
That's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you feel so far is like your biggest accomplishment in the industry?
My biggest accomplishment, good question. Definitely, I would say one of my biggest accomplishments was being cast in Children of the Corn. That was filmed in 2020. And that's the biggest accomplishment to me because we actually filmed the whole thing during the first pandemic in 2020.
Yeah.
And that was amazing, all the safety protocols, and we were the only movie to keep shooting in the entire world. So that was amazing to be a part of. And the people there were absolutely incredible. So yeah, I was really lucky to be part of that.
That's awesome. Now the curious case of the Dolphin Bay. How did that come about? How did you get approached for this?
Yeah, so basically my agent sent me a self-tape for it.
Okay.
And I went through this really interesting process. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but basically a lot of interesting things happened. Like I had to go for an emergency surgery
Oh,
before the day before it was due, and then our laptop died and things like that. So it was the actual audition process was crazy. But then yeah, eventually I got a call back. And then I got the role from there.
did you originally go in for Teddy or was it somebody else at first?
Yeah, I was originally going for Teddy. Teddy is the only like younger male lead in it. The other males are adults. So yeah,
Yeah. So what drew you to the role? How did you prepare to play this character?
yeah. So I feel like first of all, I feel like I could inject a lot of my personality into the character because he's so fun. He's also like really adventurous. I love the fact that he's really like determined and driven as well.
Mm,
Um, he is a little bit dorky, um, but he still has that like integrity. Um, and yeah, approaching the character, I feel like that was quite easy for me because he was very similar to my personality.
mm.
I could relate to him in a lot of ways. Obviously, personally, I wouldn't go as far as treasure hunting and things like that,
Right.
but but yeah, there are definitely aspects I could draw upon to help build this character.
Yeah. What did you love about Teddy? And if you could change something about him, what would it be?
Um, I love, first of all, I love Teddy because I love how his character progresses throughout the film.
Yeah.
Because he begins this adventure with confidence, and he doesn't seem to really care, and he can only see his main goal in his head. But as the story progresses, we can sort of see more sides to his personality. So
Yeah.
I love that about him. If I could change something about him, that's a good question. Um, I would say I'm not sure because I feel like for me, it was very easy to kind of play this character, and it was I mean, I feel like easy is kind of like the wrong word for it. But it was I wouldn't really change anything about him because that is like his character, and I feel
Mm,
like if I change something about him because it's such a small cast as well, I
yeah.
feel a small like group of characters in the film that could affect them as well in certain ways, and I feel like it wouldn't have the same dynamic as what it does in this film, and I feel like that's what audiences love about it as well, like the dynamics between the characters.
Yeah.
So
How fun was it
yeah.
filming a movie that, like you said, you mentioned treasure hunting, so it's got a little action, it's got a little comedy in it. How did that
Yeah,
feel?
that was so fun. Yeah, there's definitely lots of obviously it's this big adventure, but also I love the fact that also there's like heartfelt scenes in it. And there are those quieter moments in the film. And I feel like that's what audiences are drawn to as well, the relationships that the characters have. But yeah, it was so fun. Like the adventure part of it was really fun. During filming, we actually shot for the entire week on this beach. And so for me, that's crazy because I'm like, how am I? This is like my job. How are we just filming on a beach? I'm here all week and this is my job. So yeah, I was really lucky for that. And yeah, there were a couple scary moments in the film as well. But yeah, they were really fun to shoot as well.
Now, you mentioned the other characters, so you have the other cast members like Isabella, Allegra, just to name a few. How was it now working with them and like the chemistry between all you guys?
Yeah, it was so good. Immediately because we had a week of pre-production beforehand. And so we all got to know each other, and we all clicked immediately. Yeah, Bella, Allegra, and I became like instant friends the first time we met, and offset we were like making TikToks together, and like on the weekends we like went on hiking, and we were just hanging out, and it was so crazy because at the end of it there were like tears and everything. I'm like, wow, this is a really special set because usually obviously for a film it's much longer than a few weeks,
Right.
but we became so close, so yeah.
What's been the feedback from like people that have already seen the movie? Like you said, it got released here in the US, but you're waiting now for the next release in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, the feedback has been incredible. So far, it's all been positive from what people have been messaging me about, sending me like Instagram requests and things like that. So that's really nice, and yeah, I'm really looking forward for it to come out over here, especially because this is where it was filmed, and it has such amazing locations. But yeah, I'm really glad that America is watching it. I'm glad that they're enjoying it, and I'm really excited.
Yeah. Now, have you had a chance to watch the finished project?
Yes, I've watched it twice.
Okay.
We had a little Australian premiere over here for the Gold Coast Film Festival, actually.
Okay.
But Isabella only watched it for the first time because she's obviously in the US. She only watched it for the first time a couple weeks ago. So it was amazing to hear what she thought of it.
Yeah, what was your
Yeah,
thoughts when you were watching it when you went for the first time?
yeah. The first time I watched it, I absolutely loved it. The passion that the cast and crew have can definitely be seen in the film,
Mm,
and I love that about it. And the second time I watched it, I was like, because the first time it was like kind of like, oh wow, I'm just like watching this movie and it's awesome.
yeah.
And the second time I was like breaking down little things. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember like the different take that we did for that. But yeah, it's really fun. I
Yeah.
love it.
So the movie's available on Disney Channel now. Any plans for it to be on Disney Plus? Have you heard anything about that also?
Yes, yes. So it's on Disney Channel right now, and it's going to be released on Disney Plus later this year, and then it's going to be in cinemas in Australia in September.
Oh wow, wow.
So yeah.
So now, what's next for you now? Any other projects you're allowed to tell us about that either coming out or you're about to go work on?
Yeah, there are a few things coming up. I can't say too much right now, but it's really exciting, and I can't wait for audiences to, actually know what's going on.
Sure. Well, speaking of that, how can the viewers and listeners find you on social media to keep up with you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Jayden McGinlay. You can find me on Facebook, also at Jayden McGinlay, and you can also find me on Twitter, which is Jayden_McGinlay.
Jayden, this was great. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk about the movie, and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.